Hello, my name is Zuzana Štromerová, and I would like to talk to you about family birthing rooms in maternity hospitals. Why should we support them? Before I start, I would like to remind something about natural birth. Natural healthy birth is a birth that starts on its own, continues on its own, and can be finished spontaneously, and it can occur anywhere, also in hospitals. How does the state view the possibility of informed choice for the mothers? Informed choice regarding the place of birth, I mean. So, home birth is not supported by the state. It ignores the provision of care. It is not covered by the health insurance office. Midwives are prosecuted or even exemplarily punished for assisting home births. And some women, because of these facts, opt for free birthing, which brings higher risk to mother and to the baby. Another possibility may be a birth house, but the state makes it impossible to work. They don't forbid it, but they require the physical presence of gynecologist in 5 minutes at place where the birth is conducted, and this would set up the demand for opening a small hospital, because the gynecologist would need also anesthesiologist and neonatologist, and they all would need some special equipment, and that's why a small hospital would be needed. And then our government closes small hospitals because they say that gynecologists do not have enough training in solving pathologies then. So then, recently in the last 2 years, some midwifery centers have been opened in Czech Republic. But these midwifery centers work according to standards set by the Gynecologic Society. They do not offer women continuous care for pregnancy to postpartum time. And because it works like hospital and with mostly with techniques used in the hospital, they do not attract mothers who would otherwise give birth at home, and that's why this is not a solution to transfer from home birth to hospital. Why do women want to give birth at home? First, it may be their lifestyle. Second, they might have a very negative experience with the past birth in the hospital, and they do not want to experience that anymore. Sometimes they have older children at home and may have some troubles with assuring care for them while they are in a hospital. And sometimes they had such a positive experience in hospital during last birth that they would say, well, for that small thing, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to put the burden on healthcare system. Positives and benefits of home birth for parents are the fact that a woman does not have to go anywhere. She does not want to move from her home. She can experience the whole event at place. She would always get individual care at home. The family does not need to be separated or does not have to be separated. And their home is their bacteriological environment, and that is why it is more safe for the woman to be at home than to go to the hospital. No intervention in birthing process are done at home. Home birth is associated with some risks, and especially with the possible delay caused by transfer from home to hospital in case there is some urgent situation. Then, especially young midwives may overestimate their knowledge and their experience and may not act properly in home births. Sometimes it's the insufficient knowledge of natural relations in childbirth and insufficient practical training. Then, some parents really desperately want to give birth at home and they ignore any recommendations from midwife, and they ignore that due to their attitude the risk might get really high. And some parents may be afraid of a hostile admission to a maternity hospital in case transfer is needed. And the hospital also ignores the midwives, and they just don't have in mind what the midwife did before and what the midwife is telling them and what care she has already provided to parents. Strict prohibition of home births, which the state tend to do, or ban on services of midwives, of community midwives, may really massively increase risk associated with childbirth for the mother and the baby. And it is important to have in mind that for many women, home is the environment which they only accept for birth. The ban would increase stress for everyone involved, and the ban would be totally against WHO position and the position of other international organizations and the results of research which are widely done for home birth. Let's summarize the facts. Fear of home birth arises from the absence of experience with childbirth in its most natural environment. That's just true, because those ones who have never been present at home birth are just logically afraid of the event that they do not know. Home birth is not taught at schools. Teachers like practical experience, so how can you teach practically someone something that you have never done, that you do not know? There are no practical training places for midwives or medics to get the home birth skills, and it is also very difficult because then, of course, one would not go to assist a woman birthing at home when he or she has never done that and has never learned about that. Another fact is that it is not possible to learn community care in the current system of hospital obstetric care. And midwifery students have been learning to be afraid of childbirth since their youth. Their practical training is done in the hospitals, and they can see the disasters which follow medical births from time to time, and they have very seldom the possibility to see really physiological unintervened births, and they have never possibility to see the woman from pregnancy over the childbirth and then in postnatal time, so it's difficult to do the thing that you have never learned. The family birthing rooms should optimally be placed in the same building as delivery ward. The birthing women should be in hands of midwives only, those who are healthy, of course. The rooms should be administratively and technically equipped so that the midwife does not need to leave the room for administrative or technical reasons during the birthing process. It's fine and it's an advantage if the room is equipped with bathroom and toilet. And the couple who is there would use the room as a private one, so nobody else would go there, only the midwife, or in case needed, also the doctor would come. The woman birth partner would take care of siblings if they are present, so it's not the duty of the midwife. So how could this work? A midwife will enter in some kind of contract with the hospital the woman has chosen for birth. Then the woman will register in the chosen hospital so that her data is uploaded in the computer. The community midwife will care for the woman for the whole pregnancy, and she will guide her through the pregnancy. And if everything is okay, she could bring the woman only at the end of active first stage. That means with the cervix open about 7-8 centimeters. Before arriving to the maternity hospital, the midwife will phone them and tell them that she's bringing a woman in. The hospital will record the admission in the admission book, and later it will charge the insurance office as they do with any other birth. The community midwife will care for the woman for her whole stay in the delivery suite, and in case of complication, the community midwife will transfer the woman to the care of a hospital midwife or a doctor. If it's only a mild complication or something unclear, then she may only consult the doctor and the woman can still remain in her hands. If the woman is transferred to the normal delivery suite, then the midwife can stay with her as a partner, as a second partner. The environment of family birthing rooms invites for support of natural childbirth. It is a big benefit. It is a perfect place for practical training of midwives and medical students, and the young ones can get experience in providing care during natural childbirth. And it combines the advantages of home birth practices plus the technical support of the hospital. The midwives have a responsible, independent, varied, and very satisfying work in these rooms. The one who studies and who is getting experience and who trains can do that in peace and with the idea of physiology first. There is less complication associated with natural childbirth, and women usually are more satisfied and the same babies and families. And the staff has got nice environment for work. And also obstetricians can benefit because they will have more time for care of really pathologic cases. They can devote their time to studies or just to care for the ones who need it. The big advantage of family birthing room in a hospital is the fact that you do not need to count with the time reserve you need for transporting mother from home to hospital. There are some situations that really need some quick action, and it is when there are weak contractions at the end of the second stage and the heartbeats go down, or if the baby is poorly adapting after birth. Sometimes, not very often, seldom, but still, there can be a huge postpartum hemorrhage, and then you also need a quick action. The first trial of opening or to open the family birthing room was the Active Birth Center in Bulovka 20 years ago. 20 years ago. The birthing room included a twin bed and a bathtub and the stool for birthing, and the parents stayed there from admission to the hospital till discharge or till they were transported or transferred to postnatal ward. The normal delivery ward was behind the door, so it was just to open the door and the woman was in the normal delivery suite, or we could call easily the doctor. And all the midwives who were working there got really very good experience in taking care of natural childbirth, and I think also the doctors really benefit. Now, what is missing today to open the family birthing rooms? First of all, it is a goodwill on the side of hospitals or the decision makers. Then clear, comprehensible standards of care provided by community midwives. And people are not able and willing to listen to each other, and it is a big bad mistake. There are reasons why it is difficult to introduce the family birthing rooms in hospitals. And first of all, it is the fear from unknown. The midwives, the same as the obstetricians, are afraid of what they have not learned or of what they have little experience with. Reluctance to learn new attitudes and ways of care and change their routines is also one of the big problems. And then ego problems. This is also a very strong threat to smooth communication among people in general and for the family birthing rooms too. And then in Czech Republic, it is the reluctance of health insurance companies to sign contracts with the midwives and pay for their work directly. Here are some links to family birthing rooms in other countries than Czech Republic, so it is possible to go and see them. And I would like to thank you for your attention and greet you with the saying, where there is a will, there is a way, and I hope that we will all find the way. Goodbye.